Like to call the meeting to order.
Madam Chair, I move that we reconvene in open session and adopt certification of closed session.
Okay, it has been moved and second to reconvene into open session. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay. We are now in open session.
Certification of closed session. Whereas the Dinwiddie County School Board has convened a closed session on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas paragraph 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Dinwiddie County School Board hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only such business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the school board. Jay Smith,
I certify.
Betty Haney,
I certify.
Barbara Pittman,
I certify.
Mayor Benjamin absent, Shirley Merritt,
I certify.
Madam Vice Chair, 4 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. Okay. I'd like to invite you all to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Okay.
Madam Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
Okay, it has
Madam
been,
Vice President, before we adopt and amend, we're amending the agenda to add under closed session approval of student matters item 2.02.
okay. All right, so it has been moved in, that we adopt the agenda as amended. All those in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. All right. Closed session report.
Madam Sister Chair, I move that we accept the personnel list as provided.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Same sign. Okay. The student matters.
Madam Chair, I move that we honor the parents' request and release student numbers REL-05/21-1, 2, 3, and 4 based on religious exemption.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved in second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed? All right,
Madam Chair, I move that we honor the parent request and release student number REL-05-21-5 and remove the student from compulsory school attendance with Dinwiddie County Public Schools.
Second.
okay, any, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. The expenditure reports.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the expenditure reports as presented.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Okay, our minutes.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the minutes for April 13th as presented and amend the minutes for April 27th, 2021.
Second.
Okay, It's been moved that we accept the minutes from April 13th and the amended minutes for April 27th. All those in favor, say
Aye.
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 Okay, those approved. All right, next, recognitions.
Madam Chair, before we begin our formal recognitions,
Oh, it's
I
personnel.
would like to, at the last board meeting, you approved our new principal at Sutherland Elementary School, and I'd like to reintroduce her to you this evening. Dr. Amanda Clay is here with us. She has a Bachelor's of Science degree in Human Development from Lee University, a Master's of Education in Administration and Supervision from Virginia State, and her doctorate she received from Liberty University. She has spent all of her years in public education, except for two, here in Dinwiddie County, where she was a teacher at Rehoboth. She was also a teacher at Sutherland Elementary School. I did not know that. She was a math facilitator at Dinwiddie Elementary School and Southside. So you've worked at every school except for Midway. That's pretty. And then she worked for 4 years at Dinwiddie Middle School. And for the past 2 years, she's been the principal at Beasley Elementary School in Prince George. And we're very, very, very happy to welcome Dr. Clay back with us.
Would you like to stand, please? Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say I'm honored for the opportunity. I'm excited to come home because that's what it feels like. My son went to Sutherland too. So I'm just excited about this next chapter of the journey and really the best is yet to come. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I also noted that one of our administrative interns for next year is with us this evening. Ms. McMahon is going to be the administrative intern at Midway Elementary School next year. We'd like to thank her for joining us that evening. And now, Ms. Clark. Ms. Branch.
All right, good afternoon, Ms. Branch. I'm going to be her Vanna White again today.
Okay.
Her Vanna today. So this afternoon, we are going to recognize formally our Teachers of the Year for, technically this is 2022 for that competition from the Department of Education. And we have the teachers from each school here, as well as we are going to recognize our outstanding new Teachers of the Year. So we went and did a little prize patrol over the last week to
Yes.
see them in person.
Yes, and I hate that I missed it because it's actually probably one of the most, I would say, exhilarating opportunities that we get to have, you know, from the central office to be able to just give honor and respect to the person who is named as the division-wide Teacher of the Year. As we know, it is a reward that is well deserved for whoever is the recipient of it. So, do you think we should start with the outstanding
Yes,
teacher of the
okay.
year? Okay. So, take these off so they don't fog up on me. But before we get to the teacher of the year, we'll start with the outstanding teacher, new teacher recognition. And this award is a new award to DCPS. Actually, the brainchild behind it is Miss Betty Spires, who is here in the audience with us today. What this award is meant to do is to recognize teachers that have less than 3 years of experience. So these teachers are being recognized for their outstanding instructional skills, their ability to interact and connect well with our students, and also their ability to embody our core values, which are excellence, integrity, and equity. So these teachers were nominated by an employee, student within the division, and it brings us great honor to recognize those individuals today for our elementary position or elementary award. The outstanding new teacher of the year is Miss Christine Pagan from Sutherland Elementary School.
Congratulations again. Thank you.
Okay.
And we'll take photos after.
Okay.
Good photos.
And for our secondary level recipient, this goes to Mr. Marvin Drew of Dinwiddie High School. And I will also say that Mr. Drew is a first-year teacher with us. I know that he came to us as a career switcher, so I think that is commendable. And I just spoke to Miss Pagan last week, I believe, in the hallway, and I said, "So how's your first year going?" And she's like, "This is my second year." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's been 2 years already." So, but that just speaks to the testament of how well they've acclimated into their roles within a short period of time. And they both brought some family with them today. So we just want to make sure we acknowledge each of you and thank you for supporting your teacher here with us so that they can be an effective person in the classroom. Now, moving on to our Teacher of the Year award, and this award is the way that we do it for the division-wide Teacher of the Year award is we take the criteria that's given to us from the Virginia Department of Education. So our hope is that the recipient of the division-wide award would go on to compete for the regional Teacher of the Year as well as the state Teacher of the Year award. I must say that the committee that met last week to review all of our Teacher of the Year candidates said that this by far had some of the most exemplar teachers to choose from. And it was a very, very, very hard deliberation for them in determining who should be considered as our division-wide Teacher of the Year. But before I go through each of those recipients, I do want to quickly highlight what some of the qualifications were. This person does have to possess a full renewable Virginia teaching license, and they do also have to exhibit the fact that they're an expert in the field, they can collaborate with colleagues, they can connect with the classroom and key stakeholders, and be able to express themselves in an engaging and an articulate way. So without further ado, I'd like to begin recognizing those recipients. And I will be starting with Dinwiddie Elementary School. Their Teacher of the Year is Miss Gail Martin. So we will be sure that Miss Martin gets this award later on. Next, for Midway Elementary School, we have Miss Rebecca Bulis. Southside Elementary School, Mr. Ryan Walker. Sunnyside Elementary, Miss Kathy Ellis. Dinwiddie Middle School's honoree is Katina Chapman. Congratulations. And for Dinwiddie High School, we have Mr. Bob Weaver. Congratulations. And for our honoree of the division-wide award is, shall remain nameless at this time until I read a few things about this candidate. This year's Teacher of the Year candidate is a Title I reading interventionist with 19 years in the education profession, all within DCPS. This person graduated with a bachelor's degree in human development and a master's in education from Virginia Tech. She is involved in numerous community, civic, and professional organizations and was named as a 20 to watch in the 2017-2018 school year. Her inspiration for pursuing the teaching profession was from her father, who was also a teacher and eventually became a superintendent, and a middle school teacher, Miss Horn, who encouraged her and assured her that she could do anything with hard work. Her philosophy of teaching she considers as positive student and parent relationships and literacy, and she takes this as the greatest factors in harnessing student success. I would like to introduce to all of you today our 2022 Teacher of the Year Award recipient and Division-wide Teacher of the Year from Sutherland Elementary School. I'm noticing a theme today. Miss Megan Moore. Congratulations.
Sutherland Teacher of the Year
Yeah.
plaque.
And I didn't want it to get scratched up. So,
Thank
I'm just making sure. So this is the division-wide Teacher of the Year award also. Before I guess we leave here, we do want to remind you again that Mrs. Clark, aka Vanna, would like to get a picture of all of you shortly after this. For those of you that came to support a Teacher of the Year award recipient, we'd like to just ask you to stand so that we may be able to recognize you at this time. Thank you so much and congratulations again.
Very good. Congratulations to all of our recipients.
Okay. We do have one more special recognition that was not on the list. So I'm going to have Dr. Gurley join me up here. I will.
I'm gonna remove my mask. I'm vaccinated.
Yes.
Uh, so, good evening, Madam Vice Chair, board members, Dr. Weston. It is with great excitement that I stand before you all this afternoon. One thing that I've learned is that you say the most important thing first. And so the most important thing is that we love you, Dr. Weston. Whereas, in order to ensure the health and safety of all Virginians, schools across the Commonwealth closed March the 13th, 2020, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and most have provided virtual instruction since then as in-person teaching and learning evolved. Whereas, individual school divisions retain the autonomy to decide whether or not new instruction continue and the format in which instruction would be presented, whereas stable and consistent leadership by local school superintendents have been vital in serving children through this pandemic, and whereas school division superintendents are responsible for the health, safety, and welfare and education of each child while creating school cultures, even when a pandemic that all children, regardless of their circumstances, and whereas public schools division superintendents utilize guidance from the Centers of Disease Control, the Virginia Health Department, the Virginia Department of Education, local health departments, local case data, and fulfilling leadership responsibilities in their communities like no other times in her career. And whereas local school division superintendents work collaboratively with their school boards, educators, parents, community stakeholders in providing technology, resources, curriculum content, emotional support, and meals to children during the pandemic. And whereas traditionally, the Virginia Association of School Superintendents of the Year have been selected via a diverse panel of education associations after reviewing individual superintendents' abilities to demonstrate leadership for learning, communication, and professionalism, and community involvement. And whereas all 133 Virginia Public School Division superintendents have extraordinarily exhibited these qualities while leading her school division and communities during the 2020-21 school year. And whereas the Virginia Association of School Superintendents Board of Directors agreed that on January the 7th, 2021, to suspend the traditional selection process and determining suspend the traditional selection process of determining a single superintendent of the year, and unanimously agreed to recognize and honor all Virginia Public Division superintendents as Superintendent of the Year for 2020-2021. And whereas is appreciative of the Virginia School Boards Association for supporting this resolution and the honor provided to each Virginia division superintendent by having her school board present this resolution to the superintendent to be recognized within the community in which she leads and serves. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Dinwiddie County Public Schools does hereby recognize Dr. Carrie E. Weston as a Virginia Superintendent of the Year for 2020-2021 as designated by the Virginia Association of School Superintendents, adopted on this 11th day of May 2021, signed Mary Benjamin Bonnie Golson, Clerk of the Board. Dr. Weston, we love you and we celebrate you and we thank you for leading us. You can come down. Thank you, Dr. Weston.
Oh, you have a award. A special award.
Thank you.
Oh, we have a balloon too.
Ms. Haney, may I just say one thing?
Yes, you bet.
Because we always should say the most important thing first. I love the school division. I love this team that I get to work with every single day. The principals. Oh, thank you, Ms. Thank you. I love this school division. I love this leadership team, the central office, the principals. It is so much fun to get to come to work here. Even in a pandemic, it's a lot of fun to get to come to work here every single day. We are like a real work family, and I just really do appreciate you all for being my right arm, my left arm, and there's no group of people that I would have rather have this year to spend with, and I just thank you all. Ms. Golston, God bless her. Just thank you all so very, very much. It's a pleasure to get and an honor to get to work here every single day. So thank you. All right, now on to yes. I don't know what to do. This is really embarrassing. All right.
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
and congratulations to all of you, Very good, very good. All right, well, let's go on now to the board matters. The wrestling field trip.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Well,
Good.
I'm asking the board to approve a field trip to Roanoke College. Wrestling field trip. It would be for individuals, probably 10 to 12 individuals at most. Coach Hall, he would drive the bus, so we wouldn't have to pay transportation costs other than using the bus. They would stay overnight. That's basically it. Right now, the trip is set for June 25th to June 27th, so they wouldn't miss any school time. The date and location could change, could get pushed back into July. They're waiting on more information from the college coach. But right now, it's set for June 25th.
this year, do we have females wrestling, or is
No,
currently it's all
ma'am,
males
we don't have any females currently.
currently? I know that makes everything more complicated when
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is there any other questions that we have?
If not, Madam Chair, I move that we accept the proposal for the wrestling trip as proposed by Mr. Atkins.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the proposal for the field trip for the wrestling team. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, none opposed. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Do we want to pause to let her take pictures of them? Madam Chair,
Yeah, I was
propose
just
that
gonna
we make
say,
a-
as excited as I am to share this with you, I think they want to do some pictures.
Yes.
in the-
We'll go ahead and take just like a 4 or 5 minute recess and let y'all go ahead out and
Yeah,
take
let-
some pictures.
Christy Clark wants to take your pictures. Congratulations to all of you.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Go ahead, Dr. Weston. You're gonna go too, right? Okay. Okay.
To do Yeah.
Okay, because Bonnie is here. Okay, Carly, we'll go ahead and let you go ahead with the 2001 Excellence, 2021 Excellence in Workforce Readiness Award.
All right. Well, thank you for this opportunity. Back in the fall, I presented a new approach or a new idea that we had as the Creator Workforce Development Board, or CTE directors within the Creator region. And so today, based on that Diploma Seal initiative that we approved as a local Diploma Seal for this year's graduating class, we are applying for the VSBA Excellence in Workforce Readiness as a regional collaborative event for all the school districts in the Crater region. So there's 8 Virginia school divisions within the Crater region. And in the application, if you need to refresh your mind on the standards, these are the soft skills that were designed in conjunction with our regional industry partners that you see here. This is the actual website that is in operation where students will have access once they graduate to be able to get employment opportunities from our business partners, and should they meet the qualifications of the job postings, because they've earned the seal, would be guaranteed an interview. And so we have currently 17 different business partners that have agreed to work with our graduates, and that list is growing every day. For the 2021 pilot year for the Workforce Ready Diploma Seal Initiative, the primary goal was to have student participation from each of the participating school divisions within the Crater region and have at least 15 business partners agree to participate in the initiative and grant the graduates interviews. As with every year, even amidst the pandemic, our priority every year is to ensure that high school graduates within the Crater region and across the Commonwealth successfully transition into what we call one of the 3 E's: employment, enlistment, or enrollment. While I'm not going to read the entire application, I believe you have access to it. We just wanted to thank all of our school boards and the Crater Region Workforce Development Board and business partners, because without your participation and support, this wouldn't have been possible. This spring, our local business community supported our soon-to-be graduates in our virtual reverse career fair. During this event, Diploma Seal candidates developed profiles and resumes for our business partners to review. The participating businesses then requested interviews of our high school seniors and then made job offers to these successful candidates. While holding the event virtually did possess its challenges, we will be holding a regional CTE signing day on May 19th to illustrate their commitment to hire seniors upon graduation. To date, remember, this is all voluntary, so we just sent out an email, and these were the students that responded and qualified. So we have 12 of our seniors that will earn the seal this year. Across the entire Crater region, there was 42 students that will earn this seal. In the reverse career fair, we will have 6 students participating in to celebrate their transition into part-time or full-time employment that aligns with their career goals. So we hope that this will continue to grow each year. Part of the program
qualifications was for us to be able to also explain how this could be replicated beyond our region, which I do believe this will spread pretty quickly because it is really shown, even in a pandemic, to be successful. So I ask your approval to submit this entry on behalf of Dinwiddie County Public Schools and the Crater Region Schools.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept this, application put in for the Workforce Readiness Award.
Second.
All right, it's been moved in second. Any questions or anything else anyone has to ask? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? All right, thank you very
Thank
much,
you, Ms.
Carly. Okay, is there any new business? Okay, we'll move on then to superintendent matters, the academic services, the summer learning, and the school year 22 update. Dr. Gurley.
Good afternoon again. As we begin to transition back, the new campaign from Virginia is the Virginia Learns. So we have adapted that campaign to the Dinwiddie Learns, which will outline how we lead, engage, assess, recover, nurture, and create success for all of our students. This afternoon's presentation will provide you an overview of our of our summer learning for our students, two of our summer learning for our employees, and three, it will provide you a preview of our school year for the 21-22 school year. I will begin our update by providing you an overview of our summer learning for students. Am I controlling this? Oh, it's because this is not the computer. Our strategic plan drives the work of the school division. So as we plan the needs of our students for this summer, we use strategic plan goal number 1 to ensure that we are preparing every student for success in school and life. This summer, we will be offering learning opportunities for students in grades pre-K through 12. Summer programming will happen over a 6-week window. The program will be divided into 3 sessions. Session 1 is June the 21st to July the 1st. Session 2 is July the 6th to July the 15th. And session 3 is July the 19th to July the 29th. We will also have as you see, we have a kindergarten countdown camp, and that will be happening during sessions 2 and 3. And I will provide more information about that as we move through the presentation. Also, the dates for the Exceptional Education Extended School Year will be communicated by our Office of Exceptional Education. And then I will also provide you highlights of our elementary summer academy as well as our secondary summer academy. I will begin with our kindergarten countdown camp. We are pleased to announce that we have partnered once again with our United Way to offer the kindergarten countdown camp. One thing that I always like to highlight from this is that this doesn't cost us anything with this partnership. So it does give us access to high quality materials. It pays for the salaries of the teachers. And so from this, they just ask that we implement the curriculum, which we do collaborate with them on. This summer, it will look a little different because we will be offering the kindergarten countdown camp at Midway, Sutherland, Dinwiddie Elementary, and Sunnyside. The programming will feature small class sizes to support the developmental and social emotional needs of our rising kindergartners, and keeping in mind that the students who participate in this program did not have any formal preschool experience. The Kindergarten Countdown Camp also provides our families with an opportunity to engage through a parent session. Through the parent session. And so I would like to thank Ms. Brooks for her leadership in this area. And also, if there are parents that are watching, or if you know of any children who have not had a formal preschool experience, you can refer them to Ms. Brooks, and she will be happy to assist them, and she can be contacted here. Next, we will be offering the Elementary Summer Academy. This summer, we are providing our students with a unique learning experience because we will be providing instruction. We will be providing them instruction at their home schools. And there is an exception to that. Our Southside students will be participating in the Summer Academy either at Sutherland Elementary or Dinwiddie Elementary. So that's Sutherland Elementary or Dinwiddie Elementary. And what we will be doing is we will be placing those students in the location that is closest to their homes. And so just as a reminder that Southside is having some renovations and some work done. So that's why we are not using that location for this summer. But the programs will offer small class sizes. We've designed with the help of some of the curriculum and content specialists. We have designed some STEM and STEAM activities for the students. Based on the student-teacher ratio, we will be able to provide some individual learning support. So there will be some opportunities for some pull-out instruction in some of the cases, and we will have some enrichment activities for students. And I do want to thank Ms. Hannon and the curriculum teams for working very diligently. What they did, they started with working with the schools to help them identify the students, and then they've also pulled together some historical data for those students that are participating, so that the teachers can have access to that information for this summer. So I do want to thank Ms. Hannon and her team for getting us set up for success for a great summer academy for elementary. Next, we have the secondary summer academy, 6 through 8. And so Ms. Wolfick and her team, Ms. Wolfick and the middle school team have been very thoughtful in their planning. We will be supporting all 4 core content areas. So students will actually have an opportunity to change classes this summer. And they've really been focusing on teaching the essential skills, those skills that students need in order to be successful as they matriculate to the next grade. They've been working to unpack the data at the middle school to really target the students. And I've been watching the rosters daily. And I know some of the grades, we have, right now we have 60 students who are committed. We have over 60 students at the 7th grade level who are on that roster. So the numbers right now look very high. Look very good, I should say, and it's a great opportunity to support a lot of students. And so we really will be working on supporting those students and recovering learning, and also providing them enrichment and giving them opportunities just to apply some of that knowledge learned. Our secondary summer academy is grades 9 through 12. And so our high school is proven to be no exception to the theme today. We are personalizing learning for students. There will be a wide variety of course offerings for students. And this helps to ensure that we can recover those credits that are needed for that students need from graduation. And we know that the pandemic did create some of those gaps. And so the 6-week period this summer will give students an excellent opportunity to recover some of those credits. So there will be a wide variety of opportunities for students to also recover those standard credits. And so to that end, having access to those content expert teachers at the high school, students will be remediated, and they will have the opportunity to sit for the SOLs and have a chance to earn those verified credits needed for graduation, which is excellent. So as we have done in the previous years, this year we will also provide students the opportunity to earn initial course credit for economics and personal finance this summer. And so that, if students take advantage of that, then it does open up space in their schedule to take some of those other courses. I did not have it on the slide, but driver's ed will also be offered. So students will have the opportunity this summer to also take driver's ed. And I want to give just a shout out and a thank you to Mrs. Gibbs and Mrs. Woolfolk for working collaboratively with her, and their leadership is most appreciated as we coordinate this summer learning for grades 9 through 12. And so as we look at our exceptional education students, we want you all to know that we have been planning for our students with disabilities throughout this summer, and we've kept them in mind throughout our planning processes. So there will be access to special education teachers throughout our summer programming. The students, if you look in the number 1 where it says in-person extended school year services, those are those students where the IEP team has deemed that some services are needed. And so in those cases where it's written into their IEPs, the Exceptional Education Office is providing that information to the families. Also, special education students attending summer school will have access to their accommodations via their IEPs. There also is some specialized programming that will be offered for for select students with disabilities, and that will be housed over at Dinwiddie Elementary School. And I do want to give kudos and thank you to Dr. Joyner also for setting us up for success and getting our programming ready for June the 21st for our students with disabilities to have a summer school experience. This site that's being displayed is our summer opportunities. And so as we have done every year, Mrs. McCown, who I want to thank, so there's a lot of people, as you can see, who've been working very hard and very diligently behind the scenes. Mrs. McCown, she's been compiling our summer opportunities, and this is a website, and it's just a one-stop shop for our parents. And so this hopefully will make their lives a little easier. So if they're looking for some things for their children to do, whether it be educational, whether it be recreational, it's all located on this one site. And we will attach this to the landing site of our DCPS homepage. And so again, some of the things that are highlighted here are Parks and Rec. There's some reading opportunities, some educational opportunities at Henricus Park, and also there are some camps. The next thing that we're going to that I wanted to highlight for you are summer learning opportunities for our employees. And so just as we discussed for our students, we want to highlight some professional development opportunities for our students. And so the framework that supports the development of our employees is located within our strategic goal number 3, which centers on retaining and recruiting high quality employees who put our students first, practice inclusivity, and also add value to our organization. So a way to add value to the organization is to develop our employees. So this summer we will be reviving. We heard loud and clear from our surveys that people want professional development experiences. So we are reviving the Summer Learning Institutes. So I want to thank Ms. Spires. She's another behind the scenes person. I want to thank Ms. Spires for her leadership. And as a team and as a school division, we just believe that the Summer Institutes are essential to just providing a space to develop our employees professionally. It gives them a place to collaborate with their colleagues. It helps them stay abreast of best educational practices. So by offering this summer, this kind of brings back that sense of normalcy. So we will be providing in-person sessions following our health guidance, and Ms. Clark, who give her a shout out as well. She keeps us on track with our health guidance. So we want do want to thank you for that. So we will follow the health guidance to provide some in-person sessions. We will also be providing some sessions hybrid. So we want to make sure that we're meeting people to their comfort level and their needs. We will be having these sessions throughout the month of July. The times will vary so that we have a lot of teachers, and I want to thank all of you who are listening. I want to thank the teachers because you're the behind the scenes and the front of the scenes. So we do have a lot of teachers who are signed up for summer school. So we're going to vary the offering times so that teachers who are working summer school will also have an opportunity to participate. So this will accommodate them. We will also be accommodating our 12-month staff. We have some clerical people, so I want to thank Ms. Branch. So again, the list just gets longer and longer. I'm sure I'm going to omit someone, so I apologize. But Ms. Branch is developing some customer service sessions, Ms. Merritt. So we will be helping people on the front line. So that will be open to any support staff, whether it be paraprofessional, custodian, secretary. That will be open to any support staff who wants to take advantage of that. So she's developing some of those sessions. We're also embedding some of those things in Simple K-12. And so there just will be a variety of options. So, and then another thing that just makes it even more enticing, that we're going to pay people to develop their skills professionally this summer. So they will also be paid to attend those in-person trainings. And so we are researching, I don't know if I've talked to Ms. Clark, but we're researching the virtual pieces, but those face-to-face sessions, we definitely know we will be able to compensate people, as well as provide some recertification points. And again, as I stated, the target audience is varies. And since we were talking about paying people, I also want to thank Ms. Fleming as well, because she helps us with the money. So she's had a part in all this. So I can't take credit for anything but the sleepless nights. And so the question is, well, where do I find all this information? So Mrs. Spires, again, she has worked with the team, and there are two sites actually. There's a blue site, which will provide the summer institutes. And so what I'm going to tell people who are listening, people in the audience, as you, and I want to thank Miss Massengill, because she's going to have to put this stuff on the website. So I do want to thank her as well. So this will be on our website. And so this will go live June the 1st. All of the sessions will not be there June the 1st because the sessions don't start till July, but there will be a registration process. And so throughout the month of July, we will be updating these things daily, weekly. So there will be a wide variety of options. We went through the sessions, and they're starting to get longer. And so we're going to keep taking the sessions. Ms. Spires doesn't know that yet. We're going to keep taking the sessions as people come up with them. And then they may just won't be at the beginning of the month, but we'll push them down. But we will try to accommodate all the requests. And so, and then the green side, are our mandated training. So these are those annual things. And so instead of pulling people together for yet another meeting, the green site usually has our annual trainings, like our harassment and some of those Title IX things, and just those mandated things that we must do yearly. And we've been doing it that way, and it's been working. So thank you to the team for doing that. And so learning and leading forward, these are just some things that we will be doing to sharpen our skills. And as we, as my grandfather used to say, iron sharpens iron. And so we will have our leadership advance where we will be growing together and learning together. And that's on June the 23rd and the 24th. And we will be looking at our strategic plan as we look to lead forward for the 20 through 26. And then we will just come back and really hone in on really developing a team and how we work collaboratively. And then there will be some school leadership and senior staff development. And I know we will be doing some things with the board. And so we are looking forward to those things. And, that leads to that systems improvement. And so we grow together, greater heights. And Also, from the surveys, we've heard that people want to start getting back to those external conferences and workshops. So as we close the school year, we're going to start reopening some of those offerings to people, and we've started approving those things. So we are looking forward to that. About 2 years ago now, we started the new teacher academies, and so we will be doing that again on August the 23rd and 24th. And so we currently have a cohort in progress through a collaboration with the College of William and Mary. And so that leadership cohort this summer will be entering their second year. We'll begin in year 2. And so we just look forward to watching them grow and develop and transferring those skills back to Dinwiddie County Public Schools. And so the last section, I just really want to give you some of the highlights of the information as we transition to the 21-22 school year. And again, it's about our strategic goal 1 and creating that success academically and personally and civically for our students. So I've divided our school year into just 4 things to get us started. Absolutely, this does not encompass the whole school year, but this just gives us 4 focus areas that our team is using to get started. And so by now, with our number 1, the return to in-person instruction, by now our families our virtual families, they've been informed that they must apply to remain virtual for next school year. Our intention is to be face-to-face 5 days a week for next school year. But if those virtual families, if those families who are currently virtual would like to stay virtual, they must complete an application. And that application is currently located on our website, and it's at it's in a couple of places on the website, but there's a red banner at the top of the page, and it's they can click that and they can complete that application. And it's only located online because these are families who are saying that they have access to the internet. And so we are planning to offer some virtual options as an alternative for those students who continue to have medical needs, and that's a medical need themselves or a medical need of someone that's at risk in their home. And the option will be also available for those students who've demonstrated that they can thrive academically in an online learning model. The options will be limited. We have advertised that it will be limited options for students in grade K through 3 because as a school division, DCPS, we believe that for students to reach their optimal potential, they should be in person. In person would be the preferred method to reach your optimal potential. The virtual learning will look vastly different, and we've communicated that. It will look vastly different next year. We will be using the survey data. So right now, as of today, we've had 75 families complete the virtual application, and that's K through 5. We are not going to offer a virtual option for pre-K because pre-K is not required. And we don't want to take that seat from someone who would want to be in person. So we are not offering a virtual model for pre-K, but it will look vastly different, and we're going to use the numbers to determine what it will look like, which means that we could be tapping into Virtual Virginia at the elementary level and using Apex and/or GradPoint for selected students at the at the 6 through 12 level. But we will provide some type of teacher support, and we've communicated to our teachers through some of our town hall meetings and things that Dr. Weston has had with them, that we are not going to require, to the greatest extent possible, that it's not our plan for teachers to do virtual and in-person. We will not require that for this school year. We realized that it was taxing on our staff, and that is not the route that we plan to take for this school year. So again, we are using the data, the application data. The building level principals will be reviewing the applications, and I'll talk about that in a second. And so But we do know that the students who are accepted into the virtual program, which will be led by Mr. Moss, that we are asking those parents that at the K through we're asking for a full year's commitment for grades K through 8. So they have to commit to do it for the full year because we don't, once we start making space in the building and teachers are getting things locked in, we will have very little wiggle room. Although we realize that there may be some extenuating circumstances which we will be able to address on a case by case basis. At the 9 through 12 level, we're asking them to make a semester's commitment because the semester at high school is the equivalent of a school year. And so those are the commitments that we're making in addition to maintaining internet and things of that nature. So by completing the application, parents are expressing interest, and it's not a guarantee. Acceptance, and so this is the criteria that the principal is using. The acceptance is based on parents certifying that they have access to high-speed internet, that there's a documented medical need of a student or a family member. The principals will be evaluating the student's performance over the last 2 years, and that's inclusive of the virtual performance and the in-person performance, and the availability of the in-home support, and really the social emotional needs. Our students do a really good job our principals do a really good job of knowing the children in their building, the students in their building. So if there's some social emotional concerns, those things will also be taken into consideration. And lastly, we will look at, the principals will consider the students' virtual attendance for this school year. All of those things will be taken into consideration. The last day for a parent to submit a virtual application to be considered for virtual is 4 p.m. on Friday, May the 28th. And so what we will do is we will notify parents of the child's acceptance no later than June the 30th into the virtual academy. And so that takes care of our return to in-person instruction via our application process. The next thing I want to talk about is what we're doing with the curriculum. Again, across our pre-K through 12, our curriculum teams have been working because we understand that there needs to be some tweaks. And I will say that during our regular team meetings, during their regular team meetings, they're constantly taking a look at the curriculum and making adjustments because there have been some pacing issues because of the virtual, and sometimes we've had to take a pause. So they are constantly looking at the curriculum. We have both our specialists on the team as well as we do have building level teachers who are participating with the curriculum enhancements and adjustments. Just as we looked at the essential standards for summer school, our teams are also looking at the essential standards for the upcoming school year to make sure that we're placing a greater emphasis, because remember, our goal is always and will continue to be to ensure that our students are reading on grade level by the third grade. And so we're going to keep those things in our purview as we continue to move forward, because the goal is to close these gaps and have success for 100% of our students by the spring of the 2022. And then number 3, our diagnostic assessments. And this is really just prudent to our work and essential, because as we make plans for our students, we have to think about the individualized needs of our students. And so using the data from the various types of assessments are key here. So through our various enhancements and restructuring, we have access to a lot of data, whether it be PALS data, it could be VKRP. We will next school year we will have to assess our students twice. The following year, which will be 2022, 2023, we will have to assess our students 3 times from the VDOE. So what we will do next year for students in grades 3 through 8, we will be able to use the fall assessment as a benchmark in the areas of reading and math. So that will be another data point that we will be able to use. So having these diagnostic indicators will allow us to support our students and ensure success moving forward. And it works very concurrently with number 4, which are our tiered interventions. And so our tiered interventions are really nothing new for us. About a year before the pandemic, we spent a long time putting our interventions into a pyramid. And so as a result, we will continue to use our three-tiered approach, diagnosing our students and intervening early with them, again, so that by the spring of 2022, we've closed those gaps. We've closed those gaps for our students. Additionally, the continuity of those action items from 1 through 4 on that screen are very essential to ensuring success for our students. And so when we talk about what it looks like for next school year, we know that Tier 1, we will provide great instruction because we've firmed up our curriculum. There's a lot of good teaching. Teachers have the resources that they need, and we are able to support our students using the diagnostic data. For our Tier 2 interventions, we will continue to use our teacher-led interventions, work with our students in small groups, and have student success meetings. And then lastly, we will be using our Tier 3 interventions, which are our specialists, which are our student success team meetings, to really personalize those learning experiences for those most vulnerable learners and close those gaps. And I think there's something on this. So this does conclude my presentation, and I do have Mr. Athey that I do want to thank, because Mr. Athey, we've been meeting regularly. He's going to be providing meals during the summer programming. I want to thank Ms. Connor, Kathy Connor, and Mr. Tucker for also, I met with them on Friday, and I do believe we're going to be ready to go with transportation, because we have to keep in mind that when school closes on Friday, I believe that's the 18th, when school closes on Friday, summer school starts on Monday. So there's nothing in between. We do want a little bit of grace, but we know the first day is going to be great. Mr. Tucker's assured us. I'm meeting with Ms. Mickens on tomorrow. We will be placing our Sutherland and we will be placing our Southside students in the Dinwiddie Elementary and the Sutherland locations. And so I just thank you all as a board for just entrusting in us to get it right for our students and our families. And I do thank our families as well. And technology, because we will need Chromebooks this summer. So hopefully that takes care of every employee that I've thanked throughout this presentation, because this is definitely something that we've not done. And it has definitely been a big undertaking, but we are excited about what we're planning to offer for our students this summer. And that concludes. Are there any questions? I know it went kind of fast. Are there any questions about what's going to take place this summer?
And how many students do you have signed up as of right now?
A lot. So tomorrow, I'm a little hesitant because tomorrow's the last day to give you the numbers. But at each elementary school, so don't count Sutherland. So Mr. Bird down at Sunnyside will have about 50 students. Midway will have about 50. Sutherland, the number will be a little bit higher. We'll know tomorrow after we meet. Dinwiddie Elementary, it'll be a little higher. The middle school will definitely be in the 150s. And the high school, I'm not quite sure. They're still working through their numbers because they wanted to wait until after the SOLs. So we'll have some firmer numbers with them. But there will be a lot of students. But there are more students in session 1 than sessions 2 and 3. And I think that's because how the 4th of July falls, but there's still a lot of students in those sessions.
So how many students per class?
So right now, in some grades, it could range from 4 students to 10. We're really trying to keep the first session, the numbers look like that it may be around 7 because we did place a lot more teachers during the first session. So the student-teacher ratio should teeter around 7. I would say during the second session, they probably will teeter more around 10 during the second session because the staffing is more heavy on the first session because there are more students.
Well, I'll give this remark. First of all, I'm impressed.
Yes.
And I commend the entire team. And it appears that you all thought about the students and the staff. And I think it's a great thing, and I pray that it all works out.
I do too.
How about the staffing? So you have more staff who are willing to be employed on that first session and then
Yes,
less
ma'am.
on the other two?
And that actually worked out perfectly because the enrollment is the enrollment is down. The numbers are a lot lower during the second and the third session. Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of different things are you going to be offering in the second and third session rather than the first?
Well, some of the students will be the same, and so we will be able to do extension activities in sessions 2 and 3. So we will kick it off with session 1. If we have some students who are repeating the sessions, we will be able to do some extension. We will go back to the Madeline Hunter, and we will be doing some very good lesson planning and doing some small group. And I think with the staffing ratio, teachers will find that they will be able to work more closely, especially at the elementary, because you'll have those students for the entire time. So you will be able to differentiate the instruction. You'll be able to be a little bit more fluid than the middle school because the students are actually changing classes, so they will have shorter periods at the middle level. But yes, we will be able to personalize learning.
So, for example, at the middle, if a student is in need of help with English and math, would they be getting English on the first session and math on the second, or getting a little English and
Well,
math
Miss
in both?
Woolfolk has done a very good job of making it very cross-curricular. She's done some, so this year we've had some performance tasks in lieu of SOLs. So we're going to do some things similar where in the history class, we provide the writing opportunities for students. So we recognize that there may be a student who really, this year, they needed the support more in the English class. So she was very thoughtful in working with the team. And Miss Harris, thank you, Miss Harris. Miss Harris, they've really done a very good job of being thoughtful and thinking ahead because we knew we would have questions and we knew we would have students that would have that need specifically in one area.
Have you all determined or confirmed what type of developmental opportunities for the staff?
Yes, ma'am. So for the staff, we have there will be for the instructional staff there will be some reading opportunities, how to do some guided reading type things. There will be some things for the early childhood special education. There will be some math things for our support personnel. We've been talking about doing some customer service type things, some things related to our brand. So those are the types of things that we plan to release for this summer, as well as tapping into our exceptional ed team, doing some mental health supports, which will be the social and emotional piece will be available for all of our staff members as well for the social emotional pieces.
Well, these summer academies, they 4 or 5 days a week.
They are 4 days. Those dates are 4 days a week. They're Monday through Thursday. The elementary, again, those time. I mean the secondary times. That's 6 through 12. Those secondary times are 7:30 to 11:30. The elementary times are 8:30 to 12:30. The teachers are 15 minutes on the front end and 15 minutes on the back end. So they'll be paid for 4.5.
So we will have a meal, or
we will have 2 meals.
2 meals.
We will have 2 meals, Mr.
Really?
Athey said.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay.
Yes. So cafeteria staff, they will be working this summer, and so it's our summer pay. Should have included that in the presentation. The summer pay is $35 an hour. We're at the top in Region 1. For teachers, it's $35 an hour. Our school nurses, shout out to them as well. We have some school nurses who will be working this summer. The rate for school nurses are $30 an hour. And for our paraprofessionals, bus drivers, it's $25. It's $25 an hour. cafeteria workers, is $25 an hour.
Good deal.
Much of the funding for these programs coming through the federal.
Yes,
Right,
ma'am. This summer we will be utilizing the CARES funds only to do the to provide summer learning.
Very good. Any other questions? Well, you have done an amazing job.
Thank you.
you.
We
Thank
are
you.
extremely proud of you. Thank you. All right. Class of 2021 update.
All right. Hello again.
I left it over there.
All right, so just a quick update. Things are still going along. This Saturday evening is the night to remember, the AKA the prom. This Saturday night, I did say prom. So that is happening. So the high school's getting excited about that. And graduation planning is still going along. Mrs. Sims is keeping us informed almost every day. She is still trying to work out the final details in the contract with Virginia State. So it's still happening that Friday, June 11th at Virginia State on the field, rain or shine. So she still has to work out the last few details about the videoing and the live streaming and the setup and things like that. So as we get closer, we'll provide more details. She will be sharing with the students and the families once she has everything set in stone. She doesn't want to put anything out until she knows for sure the exact number of tickets they will have, things like that. I asked her today how many tickets. Okay, it will be at least 2. It'll be more than two. So it'll be more than 2. She just doesn't have the firm number. She is trying to maximize the most that they can possibly have. So just know that they're going to work to get as many as they can. So it has been, applaud Miss Sims and the high school group. They have done a great job. It has been a lot of work on their part to make sure this happens and to have as normal as possible for the students. So that's where we are with that. Unless you have any specific questions, we don't have all the firm details, but just know it is happening on that day.
I have a question that kind of relates to summer school and or yours. Do we know yet, as far as summer school is concerned, what kind of rules and regulations we have to follow as far as distance and masks and all that?
So just the same mitigation until we are told anything else relaxes.
Okay.
We're going to still operate just as we are with the distancing. When it comes to, so we do have the nurses on staff for the summer, so they'll have to do the contact tracing if that's necessary. No matter what the distancing is, if we do the 3 feet, to the greatest extent possible, should we have a case, we still have to do the contact tracing based on the 6 feet, no matter what. So until that changes, from the CDC and the Department of Health, those are still the things we have to do. Yes.
They do feel very confident. Christy and I participated in
Yes.
meetings today. We do feel confident that the governor will be relaxing some of those restrictions relative to spacing and capacity and the like by June 15th. So we're hopeful that that will be in place. So whatever's in place, we're going
Right.
to follow that.
So we'll follow whatever's in place. So we heard a lot about that, a lot about vaccines. So that will be coming as well. That will be made available to our students right now, age 12 and up. So that'll be happening in the next few weeks. We'll have more information about that. But we don't know anything else about the masks stuff. We'll still wear the masks until we're told we don't have to wear the masks. So that's where we are with that.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Go to ARG's update.
Yes, we did have a meeting, about a month ago now, I guess it was. At that meeting, they did introduce the new executive director for ARGS. Her name is Dr. Megan Tenia from Fluvanna County Public Schools, and she will be starting on July 1st. Once the board voted, they did give us an opportunity to just chat with her a bit. The person that is currently serving in that capacity did announce that they do anticipate returning to full in-person learning for the next school year. She did share that Currently, she has 70 students on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then 70 on Wednesdays and Thursdays, so not all the kids are back learning yet. And she did also say that there would be no virtual option for ARCs for next year. So if students want ARCs, they'll have to work with their homeschool. And then finally, she did talk about prom and graduation, and she said that they would be having a virtual prom experience. I don't really know how you do that, but I guess it's a creative school, so I'm sure they're going to come up with something really exciting. And then graduation is going to be held outdoors at the school. And that's all they talked about last month.
Okay. How about Rowanti update?
Yes, ma'am. On Rwanti, we met on May 6th, and we did approve the 2021-22 budget. And Ms. Sims, the principal, reported that they're having good results on the certifications, which is always a concern when we have so much time out of class in a 4-day week and the amount of time that we miss, because all the courses down there are participatory and hands-on. So when they have to take an exam on welding or auto body and things that they have to physically do, we were worried that we would not have as many students qualifying and passing those exams, but it looks like they are doing so rather well. We're still looking to, in the future, trying to add plumbing and possibly logistics to the course offerings that are at Rwanti. And Dinwiddie County's numbers as far as participation have risen each year and are, in fact, have risen this year, which is a good thing, and yet the numbers that we send down there are somewhat limited because you only have so many slots per class. But we're looking forward to, I'm looking forward to trying to add, we have 2 spaces down there we can use, and trying to add some courses, something that we don't offer now that is needed in the job market in the Virginia area. So, thank
Okay.
you.
Code RVA, we did have our board meeting on April the 15th at 11 a.m. and it was held virtually. The kids are back in school in the hybrid method, but we discussed that, there's, they're going to try to do it completely no virtual next year if possible, although they have a virtual option that was passed with SB 1303 that, we might have to deal with. But they did have a proposed tuition increase for next year for $250 per child, which we're going to have to go back and have another meeting on May the 20th to vote on that. And they did also provide us the school board calendar for the next 2 years. So other than that, that was about it for Code RVA. Okay. Are there any citizen comments? No citizen comments? Okay, board comments? We can start. Okay. Barbara?
Yes, I certainly like to congratulate all the teachers of the year. It's so nice to be recognized by not only the people who supervise you, but your peers as well. And also, it is a huge undertaking for all of the different things that we've had to do as education and educators during this pandemic. And so I applaud the state for looking at the fact that not only do I think we have the superintendent of the year, but I do recognize the fact that every superintendent has had to really pull the rabbits out of the hat this year to try to get what needs to be done. So thank you to all the people on our end that do all of those. We change things and look at them and change them again, and it's a every week it's a battle to make sure we're meeting the needs of what we need to do. So I appreciate the fact that we work so well collaboratively. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Smith?
I too would like to congratulate all the teachers of the year, nominees and the winner. And appreciate everything they've done and the ones the teachers behind them that support them and administrators that help lead them every day. Congratulations, Dr. Weston, on your award, definitely well deserved. I'd like to say thank you to Carly for all the work for the workforce readiness. as a parent who, my daughter participates in it, it's a blessing. And I'd like to thank the community support behind that as well. Yeah, wish everybody a safe and enjoyable night to remember coming up. Glad we're finally starting to move back to a little more normalcy and can't wait till next year.
And again, I would like to also congratulate all the Teachers of the Year and Dr. Weston, our Superintendent of the Year, and well-deserved by all. And Carly, again, I'm looking forward to the CTE signing day. I think that should be quite interesting, and I'm looking forward to that. And all of you have done such an amazing job, and we're just very lucky to have a team like y'all that work for us. Thank you very much. Okay, Superintendent?
Yes, I do have a couple. The first thing I'd like to say is that if my husband always says that I'm always the hostess no matter whose party it is. So if you know me, you know that I prefer to plan the party than to be the center of attention at the party. And so I like to be behind the scenes doing that. So if I missed saying thank you to someone, just like Dr. Gurley said, blame it on our heads, not our hearts, in that moment. And I think tonight really has been a celebration about how many people it takes to really do this work. And the reason why it works so well in this community and in our school community is because we all work so well together. And we're all strong in different ways, and we really lean on each other and we lean in. And so I truly believe there's no better place than to live and learn and to serve than Dinwiddie County. Dr. Gurley, you forgot somebody. I want to recognize Dr. Gurley because it is an honor to lead alongside you every day. And I appreciate the 20% of the time that you don't agree with me because I'm learning a lot, and that 20%, sometimes more than that, but I appreciate that. It truly is an honor to be able to lead us alongside you. We talk about it a lot of times that we say we're meant to be here in this moment together. And so it really is a privilege to work with you and to lead alongside you. Teachers, the most important job in the school system are the teachers, and I don't think a week is a long enough time to appreciate them, especially in this past year we've been through, and I hope we find other moments to recognize and appreciate our teachers. We did have the opportunity to go out and take the prize patrol out, and it was so exciting because 2 of the classrooms were virtual, so the kids were holding up little whiteboards, and they were saying, "I'm so happy," and the kids were just so elated for their teachers, and they certainly are all well-deserved, and they do reflect the caliber of the teachers we have here. We did deliver yard signs to the class of 2021. We got a lot of positive feedback from that. Christy, thanks for organizing that again this year. And this year we added another layer thanks to Javonda Tucker at the middle school. She went out and took a team out and put class of 2024 for the rising 9th graders. So now as you ride around, you see class of 2021 and class of 2024. So it's really, really exciting. This past week or a week ago, Miss Chapman, who's the teacher of the year at the middle school, she had Dr. West do a webinar, like a little Zoom meeting with the 8th graders. And if you know Dr. West, she was a graduate of Dinwiddie High School, and she went on to be a very famous mathematician and scientist and was part of the group that did develop the GPS system. And the fact that she grew up here and that, was her story. She went to Virginia State. And just the way that she interacted, she's 90 years old now, and she interacted with the young people and just their questioning. And it was just so neat. Just the kids were so interested in her life, and just the way that she told the story about living here was just so positive, and about her education here. She was very, very positive about that. And then we recently, we got word this week that another graduate, a class of 2010, which I think his principal was Ms. Pittman, yes? We got word that a graduate was there, and I don't know if I can say his name or not, but he did graduate from Dinwiddie High School, went on to Virginia State, and then went into the Secret Service training. I don't even know what it is. It's probably so secret. I don't know what it is, but and he just graduated this week, and he's going to be assigned to the White House. So that is like so phenomenal. And Ms. Pittman, I believe you were his principal at that
I
time,
was,
is what I've been told. So you can take credit for all of that. Those good things. And my understanding, his mother still lives here in the
Lives
community.
here. Mhm.
Lives here. So I say all that to say, not only are the people employed here just so amazing, and I think when amazing things are happening, it draws really good people to want to come to work here. But then to look at what our young people do when they leave here and the adults they become and the contributions they make, not only to our community, but to the nation and the state, and I'm really proud of that. I think we need to do a better job, as you always challenge us to, capture some of that and be able to tell those stories of what young people do when they leave us, because we've got some really good stories out there. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, anybody else? All right. Do we have
Did you know? You already knew.
a motion to adjourn?
Madam Chair, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
All right, it's been moved and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Meeting is adjourned.
And then, well, they took it